in the midst of a crisis where my new business is closed, so I just spent, I don't want to admit how much time and money I spent opening a co-working space that then had to close by executive order as soon as the coronavirus became a big deal. Have you ever had the phone call with someone who straight up tells you that your business isn't essential? I have. We live in Tennessee, and a couple hours ago, the governor issued an executive order which closes all non-essential businesses for the next 2 weeks. Officially the next 2 weeks, but my hunch is, and after talking to a couple other people, it's probably gonna last the full month of April. So that's not fun. So we've already spent all the money and time, and there's still some bills racking up, and there's no money coming in. So that's not great at all. But in the midst of that, I am not worried. I mean, of course, I'm a little concerned. Like I'm getting in there in QuickBooks, making sure things are updated, making sure bills are paid, and I have a clear view on what's coming up. But I'm not really concerned, and here's why. It's because of one book by Michael Hyatt called The Vision-Driven Leader. Now, this is what I'm aspiring to be, is a vision-driven leader. And Michael, I work with Michael, so I actually got a chance to read an early copy of this book. And so we actually ordered a case here at Cowork Columbia. We have a case sitting in our empty building that we were planning to give out to our members and feature this month inside the co-working space. But I wanted to just share why this book is so helpful for me, because I think, you know, it's somewhat ironic that the book came out in the middle of all this crisis going on, where most people are saying, like, a vision. I can't think ahead for my 3 or 5 year or 10-year vision for my company. I'm just trying to make it through the next 2 weeks or the next week or the next couple days. And that's totally valid. I get that. I've had moments where I'm right there, but then it helps me to come out of that and to have a clear vision of where I'm going. So what a vision allows you to do, a clearly crafted vision, which, by the way, in this book, so Michael walks through in the book exactly how to create what he calls a vision script. And this is a 3-year script of where your business is going, where you expect to be in 3 to 5 years, and it's all based on outcomes. And so what's helpful is the whole idea of a vision is that you get clear on where you're going, but you have some flexibility about how you get there. So right now, the how you get there is wobbly. It's topsy-turvy. The how you get there, nobody expected this whole crisis that's going on right now, but the economic crisis, the health crisis, the mental health crisis, no one expected this, and there's no way this could have been in like a strategic plan for a business. But the vision is still valid and is still true and still keeps me focused in the midst of that. So instead of just getting crippled by overwhelm at where we're at right now, I can be empowered to think, okay, well, in the midst of this crisis and coming out of that, how does my strategy need to shift for me to pursue my vision? So I thought it might be helpful for you just as an example, I'll share with you a little bit of my vision script for Cowork Columbia. And this is straight out of the template that Michael Hyatt teaches and walks through in the book. I'll include a link to the book here in the video in the description, but it's called The Vision-Driven Leader. And it just came out in the middle of everything going on. But it also already, I just saw this morning, Michael posted that the book hit number 4 on the Wall Street Journal bestsellers, which is crazy in the midst of a world where most of the bestsellers are just cooking books, coloring books, and tutorials on how to homeschool your kids, because everyone in the world is getting a fast education in that. So anyways, I just want to share with you why I'm still excited about my business in the midst of this crisis, and that's because of this vision. So I should say, backstory, I added a little bit to Michael's template. He has a template that walks through, you know, clarity on your vision, where your company's going in terms of your team, in terms of your product, in terms of sales and marketing, and in terms of impact. But he also says the goal is that you should actually close your eyes and jump ahead to 3 or 5 years to the future and describe what you see as if it's in the present tense, as if it's true, to visualize it. And so I kind of wanted to get in the mood, and so I created a little intro of my own to help me do that. And I created this just for me, but I'm going to share this with you in the hope that it might be helpful. Also, I dropped this. So, 3-year vision script for Cowork Columbia. Bang! Flash! As the smoke cleared in front of me, I found myself staring at a brand new Tesla sports car in perfect condition. Actually, is better than perfect condition possible? Regardless, the door opened and a man stepped out wearing a perfectly fitting teal suit and a huge grin, his eyes mostly hidden by dimples. That's your first clue. With a shock, I realized he looked exactly like me, only leaner, more confident, and definitely better dressed. Without hesitation, he stepped forward and gave me a giant, comforting hug. Okay, so this was written before social distancing. Hugs were still okay. We did it, John, he said. Everything turned out exactly as you imagined it could, only instead of 5 years, it all happened in 3. And with a shock, I realized I was looking at and talking to future me. So what would you ask future you? In my case, I said, shaking my head in dumbfounded amazement, I asked him to explain. Chuckling with a tone of amused understanding, he began, all right, let me tell you about what I just left at Cowork Columbia in the year 2023. And then he talks about team. He says, we have the most encouraging, servant-hearted support team on the planet. All of our employees are entrepreneurs, so they intimately understand the needs of our customers and take ownership as leaders over each area of our business. They work smarter, not harder, to solve problems for our customers on a daily basis. Our employees have competitive base pay, but are mostly focused on their quarterly bonus, which is based on company profit with a focus on their department. We have a reputation for consistent excellence, and other companies look to our culture for inspiration. Our team sets the bar for hospitality, innovation, and servant leadership, not just in Murray County, but in the co-working industry at large. We all love the work that we get to do every day. Our business leaders are supported by a comprehensive apprentice program, which is full with a waiting list of young, aspiring entrepreneurs eager to get their chance to work closely with us. We work alongside our customers out of a beautiful 2-story building that we own in Columbia, right off the square. So that's the intro to the vision script. And then it gets into a lot of detail that I just won't share now in terms of, because I want you to be surprised when it comes out, but it gets into a lot of detail on product and then sales and marketing strategy. But then it ends, and this is actually what really keeps me motivated, is the impact section. And here's what I wrote. We are changing the future by leading a generation of Columbia's entrepreneurs. I live in Columbia, Tennessee. That's where the co-working space is, hence Columbia's entrepreneurs. Whenever someone thinks of starting a business, they come to us first. And because of that, they save massive amounts of time and money they would have otherwise wasted figuring out how to succeed on their own. We've turned Columbia into a bona fide startup hub with a growing list of local businesses that exist because of our support, including quite a few that are serving an international customer base online. Because of our advocacy, local authorities are tuned into every immediate need of entrepreneurs in Columbia and actively work on their behalf. Young adults and their parents see entrepreneurship as a legitimate career path. Columbia's entrepreneurs themselves breathe easy because we have their back. Their families thank God for the impact we've had on their personal lives. So, whoa, that is what gets me excited, because nowhere in there does it have the details of like, okay, well, you know, in March and April of 2020, here's what we're going to do. No, what's going on right now is simply a bump along the path. And I have clear vision of where I'm going with this business. So if you have clear vision, then I'm sure you're experiencing the same thing I am, where everything's going on right now is kind of frustrating, but you can still see the path on the other side. If you don't feel that way, if you feel stuck or overwhelmed at any point during this whole crisis, I encourage you to get a copy of The Vision Driven Leader, Michael Hyatt's new book. Get a copy of The Vision Driven Leader and go through the exercise to create your own vision script. It might be hard right now to mentally separate yourself from what's going on all around you and to think ahead and dream about the future, but actually, it's more important now than ever, because you need to have that vision of where you're going. You need to have some clarity and hope for the future. And now that you know, in the middle of this crisis, every aspect of your business or your idea or your job is being stress tested. And so right now you have the opportunity to think about, okay, what would make today easier? Like, what do I wish was not true today? And then make those changes to your strategy. So so The Vision Driven Leader, check it out. That's my recommendation. And let me know what you think. So I'm curious, do you have a clearly articulated vision for your company or your business or your idea, even if it's short, even if it's not as long as I just wrote out? We teach a similar platform vision thing in Platform University that's a little smaller. But if you do, please let me know in the comments. And I look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Keep up the good work. I mean, first, all credit where credit due.